So, in the last class, we had a discussion about the on-load client script and on submit client scripts to validate the same thing. Today, so onload. So, and today we will discuss about on change and on cell edit. So, on change is nothing but this will executes as the name implies on change. This will execute in the form level and this will be executed in the form level and this will execute whenever the field value changes. So for example, if any field value changes, this has to execute whenever whenever the particular field value changes in the form level. So which means, so this means this will execute whenever the particular field value changes, which means for example, if you want to do, so depending upon one field value, another field value, we need to change it. Then this will be executed the same thing. So the same things, this onSolid also, this will execute whenever the particular same thing list level. So both will be have the same functionality. Only the thing was the level of execution. That means on change client script will be executed in the form level, and the same thing the on cell edit will be executed in the list level. So form level is nothing but, if the form level is nothing but, so whenever if I open this one, this is the form level. So whatever you are seeing the screen, which is a form level, and if it is a list level, this is called a list level. Now the thing is, I'm just opening here, and here I can see there is a field called email. So I want to make this email field, if the user has entered sandeep.kumar at the rate narayana.com, then only it has to accept the value. That is the our primary motto for this. So that means we can, here you can see Sandeep at the rate gmail.com, it has accepted. Now, but my requirement was, if the user has entered sandeep.kumar at the rate narayana.com, then only I need to accept the this requirement. So for example, I'm just opening, if I have one, just go to right click configure, go to the same client scripts. So I'm just writing here, I'm just writing email validation. So I'm just writing. So email validation, the table and the year type, and here the on change. So here if I give the on change, so here you can see here we have written a here on change. So if I written a on change, this was here, and it is asking a field name. See, and this one. So what is our field? Email ID. So whenever if you select a event, so only that means this will execute on a particular field email ID, and the active to initiate to and global is nothing but, so we need to execute in the different level. So I am just writing this script like so that means email validation, that's all right. And this active true inherited is nothing but we don't, since we don't have any child tables, we don't require this one. And global is nothing but this is the global, and the description and the message, so we don't require. So here you can see function and we on change. So since it is a on change client script, the function was defined on change. And see, we have seen a variable called control old value new value is loading and is template. So which means these are the parameters of the same thing. So that means here we can see control is nothing but that's a it is an DHTML widget whose value changed. That means which value has changed it. And old value is nothing but the value the widget had when the record was loaded. So for example, you can see the parameters right here. So control, the control, see we have seen it control. Control is nothing but the DHTML widget. HTML widget whose value changes. That means which widget the value has been changed. And the next thing is old value. Old value is nothing but the value the widget had when the record was loaded. That means whenever the form is loaded, what was the value in that particular field? That is a old value. Next one is a new value. New value is nothing but this is also the same thing. The value after so the value the widget the value of the widget, the value of the widget has after the change. The next thing we see, this is the three we have, right? So we have discussed control old value and new value. Next is loading and is template. So what is the use of is loading? Is loading is nothing but Is loading identified. It will identify whenever the change occurs as a part of the form load. That means if you want to execute any script on the on change, whenever the form is loaded, we can use the one. So for this one, identifies whether the change occurs as a part of change. Change occurs as a part of a form load. That means you want to execute this in the whenever the form loaded. So we need to check this. The next one is the is template. So you just understand the definitions so that you will be handled. So it will identify whenever if a template is loaded. So since we have a backend, we have some using some templates. If you want to utilize this one, we can use the same thing of a template load. This is the basic things one. Please try to remember these all definitions. So what is this control? If you want, I can ping you in the chat window. Please note down because the interviewer may ask about this one in the interview point of view. So what is the use of control? What is the use of old value? What is the use of new value? These are all he will ask about this one thing. So I hope everyone understood or any questions till now what we discussed. Okay, very good. So now the next thing was I'm just so for this one first what we have to do the logic is first we need to define a combination, and once the combination is defined and we can check whether the value is in. So for this one I'm just defining a variable where reg equal to. So for this one what is a combination email id? So best generally email id should be a combination of a to z, and 0 to 9. That means email id is a combination of alphabets and numerics. So for this one plus at the rate narayana.com, we can do the this is the one. So that means here what I have written is, so here what I have written is, for example if the email id coming from a to z and 0 to 9 at the rate narayana, then only that is a combination we have set it. The next step is, so if reg dot test. So test is nothing but will validate one, and what is the new value? New value is nothing but the user entered value is in the this combination automatically. It will pass it, or else yes, else, or else else. So what we have to do? We need to inform the user ID user to show say that alert. So please provide the valid email ID. So this is the combination code. For example, if whenever if the user is sent it, we can throw a message like this one. So I'm just going to save this one. Let's see how it will executes. I'm just opening the Narayana. So I'm just making Sandeep.Kumar. See, please provide LED melody, but it was saving the record. See, it just throws an error, and the record is not. His record is automatically saved it. So for this one, what we have to do is we have to do that. What we called what I can say. So okay, whatever the user has entered this value, we can clear that value. So if you want to clear that value, we can use. G underscore form dot clear value of what is that field. So U underscore, I think I'm not sure. So let me open this. U underscore clear value, which means so it will be value will be automatically cleared, and I'm just using return false. What is the use of return false? Return false will be used to the submission of the form in the client script. It will be automatically denied it. That means it will win. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to update this script. I'm just reloading this one. Now what I'm going to do is Sandeep.Kumar. For example, I'm just changing this value one, and I'm just making this one. Please provide the valid email ID. And if I make this one, this is going to empty. So if this is going to empty, the user will enter a correct value. So now what I'm going to do is Sandeep @narayana.com. For example, you can see Sandeep@narayana.com. When I change this one, it is accepting. When I going trying to save this one, it will accept it. So for example, I'm just changing this to gmail.com. Now Sandeep@gmail.com. See what happened? It was throws an error and stating that narayana.com, sorry, please provide the email ID, and if you want to, we can write anybody. So that's the one. Okay, and this is the basic scenario what we can do the this one, this on change client script. I hope till now you guys understood or any confusion. Hello. Very. So the same script we can see how it will. This is the form level. So we can see how the same script will execute in the list level. So I hope you know this is the list level. Let's see how it will execute. Right click, configure, and client script. So I'm just writing email validation list level. Email validation list level all. So on cell edit the same thing. See here we can see on cell edit we have seen the parameter sysid is nothing but what is the sysid of this one, and on-cell edit will be executed in the list level. This that means on-cell edit will be executed in the list level, which means only in the list level it will not executed. What you call it will not executed in the form level or any other place. So here we can see there are how many parameters we have here. First is the sysid, second one is the table, and third one is the old value, and fourth one is the new value, and fifth one is the callback function. So here we can see what is the use of this one. So the parameters, because these are the interview question, what is the use of these parameters? The first one is sysids. Sysids is nothing but sysid of the item of the edited item. So for example, edited item. The next one is the table. So table is nothing but the table name of the edited item. The edited item is nothing but what and which table we are doing. The table of the edited item. And the next one we have a old values. Old values is nothing but sorry. See old values. Old values is nothing but the value, the old value of the item. Edited item is nothing but and which we are doing edited item. So that's one. And next one is the new value. New value is nothing but what was the value we have given. New value of the edited item. And the next one is the callback. Callback is nothing but is used to callback. A callback will continue the callback will continue the execution of of other related cell edit scripts. That means it will continue the other executed scripts. So these are the basic parameters. The sysid is nothing but the sysid of the edited item, and table is nothing but what is the table name of the edited item, and old value that means what is the value we have entered, and new value the new value of the edited item. And callback will continue the execution of other execute. That means if you write in a killback, if you are any written before that client script of this OnCellEdit, it will be executed. So these parameters will be the basic fundamental. I'm just sending in the chat window. Kindly please note it down. Okay, this is fine. Now come to the our script. So our script also the same concept where range equal to same thing A to Z 0 to 9 @ narayana.com. Narayana.com, and we can close the same thing. Oh my God, no call back. Now if rez dot if rez dot test new value new value, so then that means if the same value is coming we can do it rez dot test else alert And the next thing, this one. Now I have written. Let me. I'm going to save this one. Let's try this one. Let's execute this one. Let's see how it will execute. See, for example, I'm just going to test this one. So I'm just giving test at the rate Narayana. It was accepting, but so that's the expected behavior. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, if I going to gmail.com, see, it was throws an error. Please provide the valid domain. So that's a file. So but if I go this one, but the record was here saving, but the record was saving. If you want to save that record submission stop, here you can see save and close. Oh, where you have given save and close, we have given as if we need to give as a false by see, here we have given a save and close as a true, so we can give save and close as false. Let's see. Now I'm just trying to reload this one, refresh it. So it was fine. Now what I'm going to do is the same scenario, we can test it. Test at the rate narayana.com. It was accepted. So this is a very good. This is the expected output we are expecting. Now if I'm going to give the narayana gmail.com, so please provide a valid domain. These are also, and it will not save it until since we have given as a save and close as a false. This is the one of the most common asked interview question. Please move on. The interview asks, I just want to stop the on-cell edit script whenever the form was loaded. Sorry, whenever the user was trying to edit the value in the one. So for that one, what we can use? For that one, we can use the same thing, which may we can use the same thing for the it one. So this is the basic things we can about the on cell edit client script. Till now, we have discussed how it will execute on change and on select for a one script. I hope you guys understood or any confusion. You guys have any confusion for this? Okay. Hello. Yeah, somebody is saying something. Very good. I will. I am just. I just want to explain the on change classification in one other another scenario. So here I can see in charge. So if I view in charge details and rows, so I need to fill the in charge email ID and phone number automatically. That is my scenario. So for that one, we can write a script here. Sorry. So that's our requirement. We will write a one more script for on change. Let's see the scenario. In charge details autofill. I'm just writing on change and in charge. So this is the one now. What we have to write the script for it. So what is the logic for it? So the requirement is whenever if the user is somebody has added the in charge details, whatever the user email id field and email id phone number from here. See, for example, Andrew. So this is the one from here. It has to automatically what we can see. So it has to automatically fill email ID and phone number. These two. This is the requirement for this. What was the logic for this? Anyone has any idea for this logic? The finding of the logic in the software industry, if you want to grow as a developer, is a very important thing. Forget about the technology. If you have .NET, Python, or C++, anything, the logic is same. Only the difference is the writing a script and using the other things. So, what is the logic for this? I'm just asking the logic. I'm not. Anyone has any idea about the what was the logic for this? Okay. The logic is first we need to fetch the what was the user has entered a value in a variable. From that we can set the remaining two values. So I'm just making where user equal to, if you want to fetch it, g underscore form dot. If you want to, yesterday we used the get value, but since it is a reference field, we can get the get reference. See, for example, get reference. Later the glide record or a specific field get record accept the second parameter called to servers which will contain the, so get reference and what was the field name u underscore. So if you want to, I'm just opening this one, u underscore in underscore in charge, which will give here, and we can write a callback function here. The callback function I'm just making so in charge. That means in charge is nothing but, so what are the we have written a callback. I'm sorry, we can use the callback only. I'm sorry, in charge. Callback. Now let's see. We can define the function callback. Function callback. So what was the variable we have defined there? We can add the values here. Now the next step. What is the next step? Whatever the values we have added, sorry, we have to copy the same thing. So g underscore form dot set value of what is that field name, in charge email id. So this is the in charge id, and that means now whatever the value we have entered that in charge field, that will be stored in the this user variable. So we can go to the user dot. So if you don't know the email id, so since if you don't know the email id, what we can do is you can go to the in charge field. So user dot, this is the one. So email id phone number. So that means we are copying the value from the user that in the email id field to the this one. Now the next step, g underscore form dot set value of. So again I'm just opening this one. phone number, right? So in charge dot phone number, in charge phone number, and copy it, this one. Again, user dot I'm sorry, here the phone number whatever given they have written as a mobile number, user dot mobile number. So I'm just doing for this 4 5 6 7 8 9. So I have given the mobile number and it will automatically save it. And okay, and I'm just going to save this record. Let's execute. So I'm just going to fill the same user. Yes. And watch. See what are the email ID has came here, but the phone number is not gave since I think his phone number was field was empty. If you have phone number, it will automatically comes here. So for example, if I selected Anthony, let's see what happens. So for the Anthony, I have given another phone number as 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So I can see it. See, for the Anthony, both has K. So like that, the scenario is whenever whenever if the user, for example, if I select a different user, change manager. So the email ID which changes, but this change manager it doesn't have any I think phone number. Since there is no phone number, it cannot be done with the same thing. So like that, we can write the script for the unchange clients, of course. So yes, and also once the user is added and you want to make this field as a read only, that means once this value is filled, I want to make as a email field as a read only. So for that, what we can do is, so we can see the same concept, g underscore form dot set read only. And set root only as true and save this one. See, now this field was automatically read only. So whenever if I reload this form, for example, see, initially this field is not read only, and whenever this field value changes, for example, if I change as a arha arya, so then this will be automatically changed for this one. I'm sorry. This is the basic thing about the on change client script, how we can do two scenarios. So this is the one. Do you have any questions for this? Did anybody has any questions on this one till now what we have discussed? Guys, I'm not asking any interview question, just say yes or no so that I can understood you guys are following me or not. If you say if you're not speaking something, so I thought you guys not understanding my what I'm seeing delivering. Okay, fine. And the next step, and kindly please note down the task for today. So kindly note down the task for today. So on change client, we have seen the different scenarios. For the email ID, we can give as a at the rate some xyz domain, and it has to accept it in the list level and the as well as in the form level. And now This in charge you will do it. And SSC, for example, you can see the hostel details, right? Whenever if the field is hostel is true, this hostel name, building name, floor number, room number, hostel fee was becoming a mandatory. The same scenario, you have to do it, fetch it from the client script. Okay. So this is the task for today. I hope everyone understood the task. Hello. I hope yeah. So this is the first task today. You guys can practice and let me know if you have any questions in the next class. Okay. Any questions for today's topic? Very good. Other people? Very good. Do you have any questions for the previous topics which you have discussed? Do you have any questions for the previous topics? And the client tips, just open the basics. We have another scenarios. So at the time is comes, I can explain the remaining methods. Okay. Did anybody has any questions for the previous topics? Okay, and I hope you remember this week one surprise class will be the surprising birthday. So one day we will not I will not ask any questions. So I will ask you to show that you know what you have practiced. Okay. So if no other questions, we can wind up the call. And thank you so much, guys, for joining to share here. And tomorrow we can meet at the same time, 7:30 a.m. IST. Okay.